Welcome back to Simple Home Brew. My name is Pierre and this is another video on the old extracts that I got given to me by Karen and Breno. I am doing a Cooper's Dark Ale, this one here. I've got two more left. These are untouched for 9 years. So the one I'm doing at the moment is coming up. I hope you enjoy it. So what I'm going to do is use my Fermzilla. The Fermzilla is a pressure fermenter and it's still quite good. It's still relatively new. I've only used it about 5 times and it's been great. So what I'm going to do now is actually just give it a rinse out with sanitizer. So I do have a bottle of sanitizer that I keep. This is about 4.5 litres or so. So that'll be enough to pretty much flush this whole thing through. I have washed this and had it stored washed for a very long time. So this will just help me stop any kind of bacteria. There's no mold in there growing or anything, so that's a good thing. So this will just reduce any kind of chance of getting bacteria in my beer. So I just pour all the sanitizer I have left in there. I'm gonna make a new batch anyway. With that, everything needs to be touched on the surface of the actual barrel. So you can see what I'm doing there, it's great. I'll just take it out of its holder, put that ring back and just give this a good mix around. This will ensure that I don't have any leaks because I've just recently disassembled the whole thing just to clean it properly and then reassembled it. So I'm now just going over it, making sure there's no leaks, and the best thing to do is to sit it in its holder like this. Pop it in its holder that I've got over here, which you can't see, it's off camera, and I'll leave it there for half an hour and that will tell me if I have any leaks. Next thing I have to do is I do have some malt body blend from Fergunson's. I bought this a while back and it's been sitting in my fridge since then. Well, it hasn't been sitting in my fridge, it's been sitting in storage since then. I do have some brewing sugar, dextrose. I'm trying to use leftover stuff. And another packet of dextrose. So actually, I only want 1 kilo. So that's 1 kilo there, but it's a sealed pack, so I'll leave that. So I'll grab a packet of Camden tablets. I only need 1. And I think I'm prepped. So that looks like it's ready to go. A little bit of sugar, a little bit of malt body blend, some calcium sulfate if I need it. I'm gonna check. I'm gonna look it up. And now I am required to boil about 2 litres of water. I've got my trusty, not clean pot that I want to stir it all in. So I will clean that out and I'll come back to you guys. This is the extract that I'm going to open up and I'm going to use. Like I said, it's 9 years old. But before I do anything else, I need to heat up my extract. The extract is better when it's more pourable. So I'll just pour it into my little barrel here. I don't know how this 9-year-old or 10-year-old, possibly more, label is going to hold up. You can see it's already soaking through. And that's just hot water poured over the top of this. And that will sit in there and soak up any heat that may be available that may be in it. Hang on, I need something to cover it. This lid's going to be too small, isn't it? I've got a spare lid. No one there. This is going to be too tiny, isn't it? No, it's perfect. Okay, so that lid there will stay on there, keeping the heat in, hopefully softening my extract. So that lid will stay there, hopefully softening my extract. I have made a decision on the yeast, Nottingham. ale yeast. It's still in date. It's still, the use by date is the 6th month of 2021. It has been in my fridge all this time, so it's going to be a good one. So hopefully we'll be right on that. It is an ale yeast, so I'm going to ferment standard. I'm not going to put it in the fridge because our house fridge is broken down. So we're now using my fermenter fridge as a normal fridge at the moment. So, well, I am doing an extract, so I'm not in any way worried. And it is a Cooper's, so Cooper's are pretty good quality. So let's see how we go with that. So while that's heating up, I now have to boil the kettle once more to pour another couple of litres of water into my mixing pot to be able to dissolve my malted dextrin and dextrose and all this other stuff that I need to use, as well as my Camden tablet, which makes it a bit easier anyway. So I'll now boil the kettle and I'll come back to you guys. See you soon. So I can gladly say that I need to empty this while I'm waiting. I don't want to hang around. This is only going to take 10 minutes really. It's only meant to be a quick video. I'm going to pour out my sanitizer so that I can actually sanitize my barrel, because I'm a bit worried it's not clean enough. That's good though. Just pour it out. Recording? Yep. So this is my Firmzilla. It is clean and now it's sanitized. So I'll pop the lid back on while it's sitting there to keep everything clean. Okay, again, don't fear the foam. All that foam there will not harm you. Go back up there. You can't see them, it's off camera. I just did it because I cleaned this, and it probably doesn't need sanitizing, but I'm going to do it anyway. So I'll just pour the rest of this out. The kettle's just about boiled. Just going to leave this on the floor for now while I put more hot water in. So I've got 2 litres of hot water. I just want to pour it in there. This is just so I can dissolve all my sugars. This way, I'm going to measure these to make sure I know how much I'm putting in. I better do that. All right, so I'm going to weigh out my leftover sugars, my dextrose, and my malt body blend. There's dextrose and a light malt in here. I'm going to weigh them out. I want a kilo at least. At the moment I've used some of this, so I think I've used about 250 mil or so. So I want to measure it out, which I will, and I'll measure out a kilogram of all of it. This will give me a little bit more sugar to ferment to help it work a lot better. So this has been wrapped up, sitting in storage for a very long time, so I'm hoping it's okay. It doesn't look bad. It's still soft inside, still powdery. So I'll just be back in a sec. So I'll measure this out. You're not going to see, it's going to be off camera. So I need a kilogram of both dextrose and, I was pretty correct. I reckon, 200. So it's 800 grams of this one, which is a malt body blend. Verhulsdonk's malt body blend. And I should have, I think, about 200 grams of this left in there. So it's just going to be a bit of a different mix, but I'm just using up the sugars I've got. Well, I'll be buggered. We're pretty much on 1 kilo of sugars with these 2 packs. So I'm wrapped. It's going to work out well. And I get to use some old scrap stuff that I haven't had to use for a while. So someone gave me an idea online, and this is why I love YouTube, is you get comments and ideas from people out there who know what they've done, know what to do, and give you some good ideas that you don't think of. Very, very simple ideas that you just don't think of when you're doing it. This one was, basically all I've been doing in the past is pouring the hot water into my mixing pot, then pouring the maltodextrin or the dextrose or whatever on top. The steam from that would coagulate around the bag and thicken it up and give me a hard time. Well, this great YouTuber, and I'm sure you're watching my channel because I've got a lot of subscribers now, said to me, why don't you put the powder in first, then pour the hot water in. That way you don't get the build-up of sugar. What a simple idea, what a great idea. So that's what I'm going to do. So I'm basically doing away with this big pot because I don't need it. I'm going to leave that aside because it's not required. I'm going to mix my hot water with my maltodextrin and malt, or powdered malt and all the other stuff I've got in there. So with that, I will basically mix my extract, my malt extract, my 9-year-old old malt extract that is out of date by 9 years, with cold water so that it's nice and, well, actually I might. No, I won't do it with cold water. I'll pour it in and I'll pour in the hot malt and sugars to try and dissolve it a little bit better before I put the rest of the water in. That'll work heaps better. So I'll mix that in my big pot and you'll see what happens anyway. So it looks like the kettle's boiled. This beauty is at 2 litres of hot water. I'm now going to pour it into my dry malt extract as well as dextrose, and there's 1,000 ml of that in here. I poured a whole lot in because it will help dissolve it. That's 2 litres. I want to make this maybe a 20 litre batch because it's usually a 23 litre, but I want to put it into a keg. So it is a brown ale, and the brown ale has a lot of flavouring. I'm not adding anything extra like hops or anything like that. I'm using what's in there so I can taste what it really would taste like. So I'll put the 2 litres in here. Basically pour that into my my mixing pot with my extract and see how it looks, how it smells. And the biggest thing is how this extract looks once I pull it out of the can. Am I doing this in vain? Am I doing this for no reason? So pour that in there. Beautiful. So that's 2 litres of hot water, or hot sweet water. We will now open up our can. Now this can is pretty warm at the moment. I've soaked it for about half an hour in hot water. Label, you can smell the label. It's obviously old. I'll get my can opener and we shall proceed to open it and see how it comes out, shall we? You guys can see what I'm doing here. Ready for it. Ooh. I don't know if that was an exhale or an inhale. I've never heard malt do that before. Smells like... smells okay. Well, time will tell. Ready for it? Look at that. Whoa, it actually looks all right. We shall smell it and I'll tell you if it is any good. It smells all right. Doesn't smell off in any way. I think we can proceed. I'll let you see it close up. There you go. What do you think of that? That actually does smell good. There's nothing in there that smells in any way bad. I'll pour it out and we'll wash the can out and we'll check the can and make sure that there's nothing on the bottom that looks a bit weird. Still smells really good, I must say. I'm very happy with it. Very happy with that, indeed. Right, inside the can. It's looking pretty good. Look, can you tell, can you see anything it's looking pretty good, isn't it? And it smells good. I'm not worried about it. Okay. I'm going to actually fill it up in here. I notice the I know the Fermzilla is capable of a hotter water, hotter fluids. I said there's 2 litres here, I need 18 more litres to make it 20. Okay guys, I'll show you the can. It actually looks pretty good. The seam there looks like it's had a bit of discoloration, and just down the bottom, I can see a little weld spot, but it doesn't look like it's anything that's come through. We'll see, find out. I'll just give that a stir and I shall add that into my fermenter and we'll put the rest of the water in there. Now, I'll pour that into the fermenter. And I always spill some. You guys, if you've seen my channel before, you will have seen me do this many times. So the good thing about me doing it this way is that I can actually check now that I am going to 20 litres that I want to go to. One Camden tablet. So we're now at, rotate that, so you can see where we're at. We're at about 13 litres, so there's a fair bit to go in yet. Now I'm putting it in through this bundle so it doesn't foam up too much. I found last time I did this, it foamed up like crazy because of the hose, the design of what I'm doing it with. Nice, so I was a litre over. That's what I want it to be. So what I can say is that I did 21 litres because I realised I'm going to lose about a litre in dregs and trub and all that other stuff. So it'll leave me enough to fill up a nice keg and have a little bit left over to taste. So now I'm going to have to take a sample. I do have a, I must say I don't have a wine thief. I broke it and I've been waiting for a new one to come in, and because of this COVID, I haven't been able to get anything. So I do want to take a reading, so I've got to figure out how I'm going to do that. There may be a way. There is a little valve. Lift this baby up here. I'll rotate you so you can see what I'm doing over this side. So you can see what I'm doing. This is my fermentosaurus, a firmzilla I should say. I always call it a fermentosaurus. At the moment, I need to take a reading, and down the bottom, I'll show you on this camera. Down the bottom there, I have my trub catcher. I call it trub catcher. It's just a bottle, 1 litre bottle. And in here, yeah, I'm not going to do that. It's going to come out like crazy. It's not going to happen. Forget I said it. All right, I've got to get my sample, so I'll be back and I'll see how it rated at before I put the yeast in. Quickly put the lid back on so I don't get bacteria in it. Take a drink of my beer. Not bad. I forgot that I had my my tilt, so I'll be putting that tilt in as soon as I go to do it, and I'll set it all up. We'll watch it from the tilt, but at the moment, the reading I'm getting from this is about 1040, so I'm really happy with that. Time to taste it. Let's see how this tastes. Smells quite alright. Bitterness, absolutely perfect. Nothing wrong with that. It's probably going to turn out to be one of the best beers I've made. You just wait and see. So I've got 1040 out of the measurer, hydrometer. I now have a tilt to put in, which I used just recently. I'm still practicing it. This was kindly loaned to me by Firkin Sellers. They support this channel immensely. I am going to buy this though. I do like them and I'm happy with it, so I'll be purchasing this from them. So I'll drop this little baby in there. It just activates once you drop it in. It starts to work already straight away. So it'll give me a little bit of a reading with the foam around, the bubbles and that. It won't give me a perfectly accurate reading yet, but it'll give me a good reading. So I'll pop some sanitizer on the yeast. Now it does say rehydrate. I haven't rehydrated my yeast before. The reason is I found that it's a lot of work, and really rehydrating dry yeast can make it better. I mean, if I had, 1.096 or something like that in my sugar count, definitely will rehydrate and grow it, so there's a lot more in there. But for this, it's only half at that, and it's going to handle it anyway regardless. So I did open it, but I did cut it low enough. So don't you love it when it doesn't work? So like I said, this has been in my fridge. It's a nice smelling yeast. Give you guys a look at that. There we go. So there's our yeast. We'll throw that in there, just next to the tilt. Seal the bleeding thing up. I'll pop it over in the corner here and I'll put a jacket on so that the temperature changes in this shed isn't so bad. I have, as you know, some of you have seen that I have insulated my shed now, so it's more tolerable on hot days. Like today's a very sunny day out there. And it's actually mildly warm and it's not bad in here. So there's our container, as you can see. Nice and clean inside, no rust. Smelled pretty good. Very happy with the result. Hopefully this will turn into a massively great beer. We will soon find out. So what I'll do now, I'll hook it up to the tilt and check out the ratings on that, and I'll show you how I do that. I'll grab this camera and you'll see. All right guys, I've just come to the conclusion. I'm hoping that this is it. As you can see, I've got my tilt running. So this is a different tilt app. So this is the tilt app that I've been using, but I think it's not working the way it should. So now I am going to access a different tilt app that I downloaded, which is this one, the Tilt 2 app, which seems to work. Now it's working, and I've got the name Cooper's Dark Ale written there. It's showing the gravity of 1.040. I've also put the name in Cooper's Dark Ale and saved it, and I'm starting to put in my email address for my home brewing channel, which is pierressimplebrewing. Oh, that was lucky. ING. pierressimplebrewing@gmail.com. Save. That has been saved. Use device logging. Use default cloud URL. I'll put them both in. So I'll do both for logging. Start new log. Oh no. Cooper's Dark Ale Tilt Red alert connecting to cloud. This works much better. Change log interval. For every 15 minutes it will change. It will do an update. Script Google. Aha! So it's all working now, and it does all the calibration and everything else. So temperature calibration, calibrate. This is really good. This one, I like it. Change it to Celsius. If I tilt that way, what will happen? That's all it does. Okay, there's nothing big about that. So now it should be theoretically on Google Docs. So if I now go to Google Docs, here it is, Cooper's Dark Ale. So now, this is what I want. Hey, we've got some information. So at the moment, it's SG is 0.040, temperature is 87 degrees Fahrenheit, and it's the Cooper's Dark Ale. The date is the 8th of the 11th, 20, and it's giving me all the information here. So this is really cool. Chart, data, really happy. So I've got it to work finally. So I'm using the wrong app, and that's why half the time it wasn't working. So now I have to figure out how I'm going to, this will stay like that. Put that up. How I'm going to keep my unit open to keep my eye on it. So hopefully this may have helped you guys. I hope you can see what I was doing. We'll go from there. Okay, so I'm going to try and leave this tablet on all the time, and with that, I can keep my eye on my beer everywhere I go. Well, that concludes today's brew. It's quite interesting. I'm hoping it will taste good. If you guys are interested in this, let me know how you feel in the comments. I'm looking forward to tasting it. I tasted it out of the thing, and it's quite nice actually. It's not a bad thing at all. I have been told that anything, if it's dry in the can, this is what I was told. If it was dry in the can, yeah, definitely bug it. But this stuff is pasteurized, and all the bacteria has been killed before canning, and it has been vacuum sealed with no oxygen. So that tells me there's not a single thing that can live in that. The only way something can get into it is if a can bursts, gets rust, or becomes compromised in some way. Then you'd go, nah, just chuck it in the bin, bacteria's gotten in. But this did not show signs of bacteria except for a little hiss when I opened it, which tells me that's 9 years of heating up and cooling down, so it might have done a little bit here and there. But anything I've done killed any bacteria that could have been in there by pouring it in hot water and mixing it up. Hopefully this will turn out to be a very nice brew, and I will share the results with you. So I'll keep your eye on it, tell you how I went, and we'll see you in the next one. Today's been a bit dredging. Oh, look at this machine, eh? Ruston, Lincoln, England. Big giant Painesville dredge motor. 3-cylinder by the look of it. Look at this. I know a lot of people have seen this, but I haven't. So I'm happy to show people around. Check the place out. I'm sure nobody will mind me jumping in the area and having a squeeze. What's in here? Oh, hello. Are you in there? Oh, it looks like a pub. Hope I don't drop my camera. Wow, okay. I'm enjoying myself today. It's freezing cold, but I'm enjoying myself. So I've got no story on this. It looks like a dredge. Look, even a big oil filter still on there. The jar. There's a little picnic area that they made here just for fun. Even got a little bar here for people to climb up and have a look around. I'm sure you're not allowed to do it, but I'm going to do it anyway. Yeah, just walk up. This little platform for standing on. How cool is this? Nice and old. Wonders of engineering in the old times. I wonder when it was made. I'm sure someone out there can tell me about it. So they made a little picnic area. This is a school, I think, of what I can tell. And I'm not sure actually. I really don't know. All right, we shall push on.